to. But in either case, we're going to take our time kind of getting warmed up here. So no rush, no rush. I know this one was a little impromptu, um, just a little impromptu, but we're prepared. And the green screen is strong. All right, let's see here. So today's episode, we're just going to kind of go over some of the giveaway amp news. We're just going to talk a little bit about what's been going on. This last week has been kind of quiet for me, of course. So yeah, we'll just kind of sit tight for a second and see if anybody wants to come in and join us. There he is. Grant is in the building. So here we go. We got at least one in here now, so that's a good start. This thing doesn't tell me all the metrics, so I don't really know what's going on, but we got one thumbs up, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, this week has been kind of shot in the butt for me. Obviously, as you've noticed, we haven't done any lives. We haven't done anything about the giveaway amp, but there has been a lot that has been going on over the course of this last week in regards to it. Some of the stuff that this is the little things that like showing you how to do it just doesn't make any. Yes, this is at my friend's house here, so I'll kind of get to the side. So this one straight down right there is the 30 water that I made. Yeah, that's my 30 water. That is the one that you saw in my video the other day. That one's a 50 water. And this one there is the Atlas. That one there, the bottom one, the purple one, that's the purple hazel. And of course, that one there is the giveaway amp that you all recall. And we won't talk about that thing. That thing doesn't exist. So yeah, I'm house sitting is what's going on this week. A friend of mine, the place I'm at currently, where all this picture here is actually shot. He's out of town for the week. He's got a few animals, and he trusts me enough to stay with them and just make sure that they're all happy animals. They're testing their luck today with me, but I got them under wraps at the moment. So, but yeah, a bunch of other things that happened. Just little things in the background that just really doesn't matter to you guys that much. Most of you who know me know that I have a CNC machine. Most people don't have a CNC machine, so it's not really worth trying to show you what I can do with it because it's literally just this noisy machine that goes back and forth and zigzags around and does what it does. As I mentioned in the last video I did about a week ago, I did CNC out the cabinet. So the cabinet is done in terms of being CNC'd out. I haven't put it together yet. I will save that part for you guys. I still have one other part on it that I have to do, but I'm going to save that for later because the plan is to get this amp working this week. The giveaway amp, the plan is by Sunday evening to have it put together and making noise, or at least making noise of some sort. What is my thing trying to tell me? But in either case, that's the plan. How it's going to go, I don't know for sure, but you know, we'll see. That's the plan. Other things that I've done, I have ordered knobs. So I have a set of 2 different sets of knobs I've ordered for this to make sure that we are going to have options. I'm not going to show you today because you're going to get to see those tomorrow when I do a normal live. When we go horizontal on this vertical thing, I don't know how I like it. It's too closed up. Like you can't fit all the data in there that I'd like to fit in there, and I'm not too concerned with the exposure on the vertical. Like I get it, more people will watch it this way, but I'm not really in it for the views in that regard. I want people to come in for the purpose that they need to come in for, which is the giveaway at this point in time. I also put in an order with Send Cut Send. It arrived today. I now have the shield plate, so the aluminum plate that goes underneath the amp that attaches to the cabinet. That arrived today. I have ordered some walnut wood. I already had some that would have worked, but the problem is that the chassis itself is 8 inches wide. Well, by the time you put a faceplate on the front and the back, it now grows to 8 1/8 inches wide. Well, the widest board width that I can get of walnut readily available at a price that I can afford at the thickness that I want is only 8 inches. So that leaves it 1/8 of an inch short. Let's see here. Mission control. Nice. Welcome. Thank you for coming in from Canada. Um, so yes, I had to come up with another way around it. These 8-inch chassis, they're kind of the larger size for me, and I haven't actually built a cabinet for one yet for my amps. So that's kind of new ground for me, and I have found a way to get around my problem. I was able to find some veneered walnut, like paneling that is, it's real walnut, so it is stainable and all that fun stuff, yada yada yada. But I'll be able to put that on the inside and cut it to the width that I need it. It is a little more sustainable. I am going to be honest that one of the things that kills me is messing these things up, these amplifiers, because when you biff apart on them, man, oh man, you just look at this $30 chunk of this beautiful walnut, and you can't do anything with it anymore. At least not at that size. You get to find things to do with smaller chunks. So it kills me when I make mistakes. Luckily, I'm pretty good about not making my mistakes on the walnut. So I have some walnut paneling, but we'll have to use those for my 6.5-inch wide amplifiers, I think. But I think once we're done with the current stock of walnut that I have, we're probably not going to be using that stuff anymore for the veneering on the inside of the amp. It's just there for looks anyway. It serves no functional or tonal purpose, right? Uh, so I don't want to cheapen the amp up, which I feel that going with like a veneered material on the inside kind of does cheapen it up, but it's not, you can't see the edges, like the way it's all done up, like you can't tell. All you're ever going to see is the veneer, but maybe later on when these things are actually generating an income, then I can go back to relying and finding a source for this type of stuff. But given that the last series of amps that I've done have been essentially for free, it's kind of hard to sit there and go, okay, well, I'm going to buy $100 worth of walnut to put in this thing, because that's about what it costs, believe it or not. So Artemis. Yeah, right. They made it. Oh my gosh, I'm shocked. I kind of don't. I guess they got some good photos. That's all I can say at the moment. The Artemis crew thing is like one of those things where I kind of feel like we know enough about it. I know that they went to the backside of the moon or whatever. And I think that was the big thing that they were trying to do is get those shots, but um, backside, dark side of the moon. But I kind of feel like it's a waste of resources to try to just go look at the backside of the moon. I'm sure we can figure out a way to see it. But hey, we got a guy that launches missiles here every other freaking day, so you know. I live in near Vandenberg Air Force Base, Space Force Base, mind you. So yeah, I get my house rattles quite often with those launches and stuff with the SpaceX things and whatnot. But so yeah, this amp is gonna have a veneered interior. The other thing, so the reason that I'm big on going with something like that is I want, so the inside of the amp has like a walnut top and sides. Well, I want it to be one contiguous piece, right? So I want it to come up, over, and down and be one contiguous piece. I don't want it to be this chunk of walnut, that chunk of walnut, and another chunk of walnut. Three reasons for that. One is I think it just looks more complete, put together, and when it looks like one contiguous piece. Two is that I don't want three different colors of wood, right? And three is just the like as I mentioned, it looks good with one contiguous piece. To me, it's that finishing touch that just makes it more worth the adds value. It adds value. That's really all I mean with that. So this stuff should arrive on Monday or Tuesday. I was hoping it was going to get here today. Unfortunately, it will not. So Monday or Tuesday of next week, I'll have that. Now, another nice thing, and that's the third, really the true third reason, I guess you could say that, is that I can get them in multi-foot sheets. So the sheet that I bought was a 2-foot by 4-foot. That should be enough for me to almost get like 4 amps out of it, thereabouts. Maybe not quite 4 amps. If I'm clever with how I stack everything up, I should be able to get at least 3 amplifiers out of it. But what is going on? So that's the plan there with that. What else has been going on? Not a whole heck of a lot, to be honest. So the cabinet is going to be really freaking cool. So on the back panel of the cabinet for the the D7 is actually what it is. It's funny because Riley, for those of you who know who I'm referring to, Riley uh, calls it the DVII or something like that, or the DV2. It's the D7 because it's VII for 7, Roman numerals. Yeah, I always catch Andy. So Andy and I talk almost daily, to be honest. So, but that guy is that guy in the back panel that I'm talking about is going to be real walnut. Now, there's one major reason why it's going to actually be a full size chunk of real walnut is that I'm doing the inlay of the logo, right? So the L is going to go in there with the aluminum, and I want it to be a nice piece of whatever. And I think I figured out some of my other solutions to making it easier and stronger in the back for me, and we'll see more of that later on as well. But yeah, so let's talk about that. Since we got Grant here, Grant is the gentleman that's actually doing the giveaway. So I'm building the amp, I'm making it, putting it all together. Sorry, you're not going to get any shots of it today, but you know what you see right in here, those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 amplifiers that you can see right there, those are all projects of mine that I have done. That green one here, that one's actually the last giveaway amp that I did. That one is in Sweden right now. I hand delivered that little booger. Fun little trip too. I have a video on that if you're interested in seeing that, if you haven't already. So the giveaway amp. The rules are very simple. I did not post them in this thing here, but if you go to anything related on my channel to the giveaway amp, the rules are very simple. We're not asking for much. And I know it's kind of treading on thin ice or whatever with some of the verbiage and whatnot, but more or less it's pretty simple. You need to send an email to Grant Us Glorious Tone. It's in his description as well. I don't know how to send it, but it's ToshiSweetStaffy@gmail.com. Send an email to him with a short video. Now, the video is more or less just to validate who you are. It's how we're going to guarantee that you are a valid entry, right? And the video does not need to be long. In fact, we prefer it to be short. It's not going to be used for anything. It doesn't count towards, it doesn't improve your odds. It is just a video to show your face and your rig, right? My name is Luke. I've been playing guitar for 30 some odd years. Here's my rig. It's freaking pretty awesome. Check out, I got my Marshall cab ready to rock and roll, right? So I want to join, right? I want to get the giveaway. So it's been kind of talked about quite a bit in the last few weeks about one of the rules, which is, it's not even really a rule, but a heavy recommendation that will more or less be enforced by Grant Us Glorious Tone there. This amp is going to take roughly 200 hours to build. All right, so I just did the math the other day, and just the video alone, the amount of video time alone that I've spent building it with you guys is just over 40 some odd hours. I can tell you right now, for every hour that I do in the video, there's probably another hour on the back end doing some other stuff. So some of the things that you didn't see was, like me kind of actually putting together the layout and stuff like that. I didn't drag you through that. That's a couple weeks of going back and forth and going I want this part here, do I want it here or up there, whatever, So I go through that relentlessly for a few weeks just to make sure that what I show you guys and how I kind of present it to you is ready to go. Same with the circuitry. I spent a good couple weeks just kind of making sure that this circuit and that circuit, how they all kind of tie together will make sense. So again, when I actually do the work and show it to you, it's coherent to some degree. Yes, we're kind of showing you in real time how it was all put together, but more or less I kind of already had a pretty good idea. Stuff like that. Back end stuff. So before every video that I would do, I'm trying to get an idea of what's going to happen, the order of things. And it's not going to make much sense until tomorrow when you can kind of see how everything's starting to land inside of this amplifier, that you start to realize, and Andy was talking about this before too, about how what we do, Andy Lederman and myself, And Andy Lederman, when I refer to Andy Lederman, I'm referring also to Y-DNA amplification. But we basically play 4D chess with this. Like all these parts right here have to land in a particular spot. And you want certain parts of the circuitry to align with other parts in the amp. Huck, hi, welcome. Thank you for coming in. Right? So all these parts have to land in a place, right? And you don't want to have like these long runs that don't have any meaning or purpose, or have them just be needlessly long for no reason whatsoever. So it takes a lot of like foresight, I guess. It's not necessarily just experience. I mean, experience is great because you can kind of learn, okay, look, I know this needs to be this particular way because I've done it 10 other times. It needs to be this way. So you can kind of design that thing into it, right? You know, transformer on this side, transformer on that side. Little things like that don't change really. Input is always on the opposite side of your power transformer, right? Like you never, well, very rarely do you ever see the input right next to where the power transformer is. It's pretty rare, right? It doesn't work. That's why. You know, placement of the power tubes are almost always together. There's a reason for that. So there's all these like little things that are obviously they don't change, but there's little things inside where how everything kind of lands, from the pots for the volume and tone controls, all that stuff, that you want to kind of shoot straight into that section of the turret board or whatnot. That takes a lot of foresight to kind of see 10 steps ahead. Like if I do this, where's it going to get me to that? And another thing that's a challenge with these builds that we're doing, uh, is it's kind of like linear engineering. And for those of you who are in that kind of that field or whatnot, you kind of understand what that means. So linear engineering is basically where you do X step. You put a hole in a piece of metal. Well, you better have put that hole in that piece of metal in the exact spot that it needs to be. Because if you didn't, there's no undoing it. You can't plug it up with something else, right? It's permanent now, right? Well, that's what linear editing or linear engineering is you do this and now it's dedicated. You cannot go back once you have done it. And then you do the next step. Again, you get to that point, there is no going back anymore, etc., etc. Where it's always nice is to do things more virtually, which is parametric editing. Parametric editing, which is, you know, where you work with software, or more or less you have like 3 or 4 different amplifiers. You build it once and you realize all the mistakes, then you go back and you redo it again, but you fix all the mistakes that you made the first time, find a couple others on the second build, and by the third or fourth build, you've got all the little things worked out so that when you do it again the next time, everything's right. So parametric engineering or parametric editing means that you can make the change, you know, you can drill that hole, but if it was in the wrong spot, you can undo it and move it to where it needed to be. Well, obviously, the way that we're building these things, that's not the case. So we have to know when we put this part in there, that's where it's going to live forever because you're stuck with it. So we'll see a little bit more tomorrow what I mean by that, because you wouldn't think that you would think that it's easy to do, right? It shouldn't be that difficult to be able to see like, oh, all these parts just need to align like that, right? Well, how do you execute that? Like you're working in a 3-dimensional space. You're not 100% sure what's going to end up doing what, you know, unless you work in a digital realm where you can actually take the part of that size, put it in that space, and know exactly where it's going to go. So that's the fun stuff about doing what we're doing now. So with this giveaway amp build, that's essentially what is happening. It's like, I know that the parts can fit. Yeah, sure, cool. But now I have to drill a hole, which is going to dedicate it to that space. So now it has to fit. I've been pretty lucky so far with it. So we haven't had too many problems. Most of my problems have been just stupid stuff. Like, how hard should it be to cut a wire and run it and get it to go into a part, you know what I mean, solder it? It's the stupidest little things that always give you the most trouble. So, needless to say, it's been a fun build so far. There's been some challenges. I'm doing a lot of things differently than I've never done before. And some of it comes down to just the logistics of this build. So the cables or the wires that are on the parts that I put in it aren't long enough to reach to the other part that they need to get to. So you have to do silly little things to make them longer, right? Or extend them or make a connector for them. I'm trying to make it a little more modular or something, so if there ever was any work that needed to be done to it, you can do the work on it. All right. I want it to be a forever product, not something where you have to chop it to pieces every time you take it apart. So that's what we're trying to get away from. So add a what? I don't know what a Q&A sticker is, but it says try it. Answer? I don't know. Oh, start Q&A. Now we're not gonna. I guess I don't. We're gonna leave it alone. I don't know what this is all about. So, in either case, it's trying to run me down a path that we're never gonna make it down. So that's more or less what's been going on this week. Just a lot of ordering of things and parts to make sure that we have everything that we need, and then just making sure that tomorrow when we go back into live, like we're on a path to just pound through it, because that's the big thing right now is we got to get it done. Two reasons. One is I want to get it done, and number two is that Andy's probably going to beat me on finishing his build. And I know he's teasing, like, well, if Luke gets to hear mine first, he's going to make some adjustments to his to try to make it sound better. Right? That's not the case. They're two totally different amps, two totally different topologies, and they're not the same amp. So mine's not. I'm not trying to go super high gain with mine. Andy's trying to go a little bit higher gain with his. For me, I'm just not into it. So I like high gain. Don't get me wrong, but probably not the level that he's thinking of going. So this one will be, if I get anywhere near like diesel VH3 level of gain, I'd be surprised. I'd be happy, I should say, but I don't know that we're going to get quite that far. I have some options. I have some backup plans in case we need to go a little bit further, a little bit deeper, but we'll see. So, thank you. I hope he does. In other news, so Dale, if you're privy to my channel at all, you've seen Dale on here before. If you're privy to Andy Lederman's channel, you also would be privy, or you would know Dale. Well, Dale, he is the winner, or the recipient, I should say, of the Destroyer, which is a 400 watt, actually a little over 400 watts. I believe it's like 450, somewhere close to that. 450 watts of all tube KT88 power. Well, he won it about a month ago. He received it almost a month ago. Well, he got a cabinet today, brand new 4x12 that he'll be able to plug it into and check it out. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to work out a way to do a live for that right now, but I couldn't begin to tell you. I do not know. I'm going to try something here because I don't know if my thing's trying to do something goofy or not. I had a green light, but now the green light's gone. Maybe it is working. Yeah, it's working. Sorry, I'm not used to doing this phone thing. With I have to charge my phone at the same time and all that jazz. So it's one of those things where I'm not really used to this. I don't really like this format so much. But I'm hoping, and I cannot wait until that video comes out. So I'm super excited for that, and I'm hoping that Dale is having fun with his new toys right now. So what else is going on? That's really it. That's kind of like the big what's been going on kind of stuff. Some things that are coming up in the future. I do have 2 other builds lined up, ready to go. One of them I've talked about before is for a gentleman that is a good friend of mine, but he's also the guitar tech for Paul McCartney. So I need to get going with that. I was going to try to do a simul build and build both of them kind of in tandem with each other or parallel with each other. I opted not to just because I just didn't want to, take away focus from one or the other. Like I really needed to do a good job on both, or I really need to do a good job on both because I'm not cutting any corners or anything like that. So we have focused on the giveaway amp first because once I get that out of the way, I don't really have to deal with it anymore. It's not my problem anymore, I guess you could say. I've done my part. But then it just means that I can really kind of sit down and make some good content because I need to get some content out for my my membership subscribers, like Huck here. So I was thinking as I got a little bit later into it, like it might just be a good idea for me to do that build for the members only. because you've already seen me kind of build it once before. So it's more or less the same. The only thing that would be different is just kind of a little bit of how I do things, and just the evolution of the build itself. Like you can see how it's going to turn out different from the purple hazel, etc., etc. So little things like that. What is going on, Wiggy Diggy? Nice to see you again. Hi, Champers. Mr. Champers, he's an English English bulldog. He's coming over to say hi. Hi. But so I got that build coming up. Another build that I'm gonna do. I owned an Ignator Tweaker 15 years and years ago. I sold it to a friend, and then he basically handed it back to me and said, I don't know what to do with it. Just hold on to it for a little bit. So I still kind of don't own that amp anymore, but I need to do some work with it. Because my goal was, I've never really liked that amp all that much. It was a fun little toy. Hey, Huck, thank you for coming in. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you again soon. Pencil. Oh, pen or pencil. Oh, is it still holding that shit up there, really? I don't know. I don't know how to work these things. All I know is it's... Oh, there it is. Ah! Get it out of here. Pen. I don't know. I don't know why it put it just said, here, try this. And I was like, okay. The dog's outside barking now. Everybody wants to play all of a sudden. All right, anyway. So I wasn't ever really that happy with it. So I wanted to try doing like a higher gain build. So I think this will be one of my highest gain amps, to be honest. I think it's still only going to have like 3 or 4 gain stages, but the intent with that one is to go a little bit further with it. But what I will do is I will keep it inside of the chassis that comes with the Tweaker 15. So really small. I think it's 6.5 inches deep by, I think it's 11 inches wide and 2 inches tall. So this is a small chassis to fit everything I'm going to fit in there. But it'll be about 15 watts of tear your face off. That's the plan. So what I compare to the Ignator Tweaker build that I'm calling the Undertaker at the moment, that one or the giveaway amp, the one that everybody's actually interested in. Kaya, really, girl? She's out there barking. I guess I'll just answer to both. So the giveaway amp, I'm shooting for somewhere in between. Oh, the Undertaker, yeah, killer. That's right. I think so. The name is kind of a two-parter. One, because I wanted it to, heavy, chunky, all that fun stuff. And then part 2 is the job in and of itself is going to be an undertaking. So if you haven't gone over to Andy's channel yet, one of his things right now is that he's doing it in like the smallest amp chassis known to man, trying to do a 30-watt build in something that's only 3 inches tall by 13 inches wide by, I think he said it was 8 inches deep or something like that, which is pretty big for me in my standards, but it is smaller than is typical. But this one is really small because it's like pretty sure it's only 11 inches wide, 6.5 inches deep by 2 inches tall. But the gain of the giveaway amp, I am shooting for at least so I'm going to use the VH4, the diesel VH4 amp is kind of the whatever. I'm wanting something that is at least channel 2 level of gain, which is not huge, but it's pretty gainy, to somewhere up to V3 or channel 3 of it. It's not going to be channel 4 level of gain, I can tell you that right now, but that is the plan for that. The Undertaker, it will probably easily be well, so the Undertaker, the good example for what that amp will kind of turn out to be is something probably closer to like a VHT. I shouldn't even say that word anyway, but the Fryette Deliverance. That's kind of where I think the Undertaker is going to land, is somewhere in the Deliverance range. Maybe a little bit hotter. We'll see. So the way I'm going to get away with it by keeping it with 3 tubes in that amp is I like my parallel triodes. That's not going to change. So I'm going to have a parallel triode in the front. That does get you a little more snot, a little more push. But you're like, okay, well, there's only 2 tubes left. So how are you going to get that much gain out of it, right? Well, the second tube will be ran like normal. So I have a parallel triode that runs into 2 other triodes. That's 2 tubes worth. So I've only got 1 tube left, you're probably thinking. So how am I going to run that if I still have to put a phase inverter in it? That's where it changes a little bit. I am going to go with a cathodiene phase inverter on this guy. I'm not going to go fixed bias style, kind of like the Fryette version. I am going to keep it more normal, but I think I can get enough gain out of it that I don't have to worry. The cathodiene phase inverter will be to drive the the 6v6s to wherever they need to go, right? So we're shooting for about 15 watts of shit get, right? But it will be preamp based distortion. So the idea is to get all the stuff in the preamp side. That gives me one other triode in that last tube, which means 4 gain stages. Parallel triode, 1 gain stage, the 2 triodes from the second tube, and the 1 triode that's left from the last tube. So 4 gain stages is quite a bit. So I think that one will be pretty nasty. The giveaway. I think I did, he says. You better not think, you better know. Hi, Champers, I see you. Yeah, I know. You're like, I'm getting excited over here. So that's coming up. I don't really have any other builds beyond that kind of planned out, but I think I'm at the point now where I'm not going to say that I'm going to do like a Marshall style amp, but I need to have a real like high gain amp. The giveaway amp is going to be kind of the determining factor on that, on how high gain it is versus where I want to go with it. So if the giveaway amp doesn't quite get me where I want to go in terms of total gain, then we will start working on another design to get one that will get to that VH4 level. Bogner, the Ubershaw. Excuse me, goodness, real show now. Excuse me. Bogner, Ubershaw, Angle Powerball, those things, that kind of level of gain, at least anyway, 6505, etc., etc. Put in your amp of choice in there. That one will probably end up being, so if the giveaway amp goes away, I hope it does, then we will work on coming up with at least a 2-channel amp. It's going to be fun, dude. Yeah, this weekend. Do stay tuned. If you're new here, subscribe, because that'll... Oh, hush. He's whining. He wants to go. And I lost the sound because Andy was freaking calling me. Oh, did it lose audio? Or is it back again? It's back again. There. On the phone. Okay, good. Cool. Yeah. Come on in. We're here now. Amber, good to see you. Did you guys have fun fishing earlier today? I hope so. I know that I saw you catch a couple, like, looks like rainbow trouts or some bluegills or something like that. Offset, thank you for coming in. Colby is here. Oh, he ended his live and now everybody's coming over now. No, we don't have a date yet. Definitive anyway. Sunfish. Ooh, okay, cool. So the plan is to have it finished and completed this month, right? So if all goes well, I'll have the amp playable this weekend. We'll hear sound out of it this weekend, and then hopefully have the cabinet work done by the end of the month. That's the plan. So, is it lagging? Refresh. It's got to be fine now. But invading Luke's channel. Yay! Come on in, everybody. I'm here. I love it. Oh, you can? Okay. Shit, I gotta figure that out. I have a what do they call it? Insta 360. No, not the Insta 360. The Osmo 360 from DJI. Apparently, you can use that to stream through the phone somehow. Uh, I'm not used to this format. I don't like it, so we're gonna figure that out some other time. But F tractor. So yeah, if the giveaway goes the way I want, we'll work on a new design. As far as the giveaway time frame, right now it's looking probably like July, maybe, probably at the earliest. So I'll have it done at the end of the month. I'll probably want to hold on to it for a month as well, so probably through May, so I can enjoy it myself. And then we'll send it out to John in the first part of June, and of course he's going to want to hold on to it for a little bit. All right, so he can do his video and all his promotional stuff for it. Except, no, I don't have. Well, I do have Dr. Pepper. It's in the fridge behind me. But for today, we got our Fosters. Yay! But and I've gone through all my Red Bulls for the day too. But I do have 2 in there as well, ready for tomorrow. What is this? Bully Dog. We are talking. Oh, hey, Bully Dog. What's up? I'm that guy that you talk with on Andy's channel a lot. What is this? I'm also a builder, as you probably know. You more probably know me as A-Tech, or as Luke Geis and another Luke Geis. I have 3 accounts, but in either case, I build amps as well, and you can see a bunch of them here. That's the last giveaway I did. That is the Purple Hazel, which I built. This is for the gentleman whose house I'm at currently. That's the Atlas right there. That is my 50-watt design that you heard in one of the videos I posted the other day. And then this guy down here is a 30-watter 4x EL84 amp. So it's just kind of everything. Hi, Champers. And I'm babysitting doggos today, so I got dogs trying to get my attention. So yeah, probably earliest July, maybe August, but probably in July we'll do the giveaway, where the person will actually win the amp, I guess you could say, and then hopefully by August we'll have it figured out on how we're going to send it out or whatnot. Well, it's going to take some back and forth. We'll have to figure that out. The logistics of it is going to be kind of challenging. It is a world amp, our world's mains voltage amp, so it's open to pretty much the entire world. I started to mention it earlier. Andy, it's probably a good thing you're here. We're all mad. We're all mad. So I started talking about it, these things are kind of a bitch and a half to make. We got to play in 4D chess to build these things. And there's a lot of energy getting put into this thing. I've already probably put at least 100 hours into it. I've got easily 40 some odd hours just on video working on it. We've got another 100 hours to go, thereabouts, of actual work. So it takes a lot to do these things. Beautiful Earth, how's it going? Good to see you. July, oh, come on. I want to enjoy it for a little while too. John's going to want to enjoy it for a little while before he gives it away. So, maybe he'll do it sooner. I don't know. Maybe I'll get it there sooner. Who knows? So, nah, it's not lag. I'll be making noise this weekend for sure. So I know you love to tease. But one of the things that we had talked about was, the kind of a soft requirement or a requirement of having a cabinet of some sort. One of the reasons that was brought up to begin with, I'm kind of just doing some backstory here, is that I'm putting a lot of work into this thing. Andy puts a lot of work into his things, etc., etc. It's a lot of work. It sucks to send something to somebody for essentially free, nothing, whatever, and it turns into a furniture piece, right? So it serves no purpose, and the purpose is for this thing to get played and for videos to get made and to build hype and to build a company, etc., etc., right? All that fun stuff. So I don't want to spend 200 hours of time and a couple $1,000s worth of money investment, whatever you want to call it, to send this thing off to some place where it's just going to sit there and collect dust. That serves no justice to anything. So yeah, we want you to be able to play it through a cabinet that you already have. Makes sense. So I know that Dale, did you talk to him yet? Nice. Fuck yeah. Cool. I'm glad to hear that. Did he post a video yet? I didn't get to see it, so I'm going to be looking for it for sure. So if you have a link to it, let me know. I'm super excited for Dale. I was talking about it a little bit ago. Was playing 5 minutes. Hell yeah. I haven't played in over a week. It's kind of a shame because I got 3 guitars just sitting over there on the other side of the room. But oh, we didn't abandon you. I was busy, and then I needed to do some sort of a live today. So thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate that. And you know, it's nice that Andy finally lets everyone else come over and visit with me for once. So yeah, that's the only reason that we brought that up, and it's the only reason that Grant's his glorious tone, John, is kind of enforcing that rule is just because what else are you gonna do? Like I say, it's not necessarily a requirement, but it's kind of a requirement. You need to have a cabinet. Otherwise, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing this for if you're not going to get a cabinet? Now, I know it sucks for you to want to go out and buy a cabinet to not win an amp, but that's up for John to decide. He's the enforcer, and that's all there is to that. So those are the basic rules. There's only one other real rule. You don't even necessarily have to be subscribed to my channel and Grandma's Glorious Tones, although it is probably a wise idea if you are, because otherwise, how are you going to get the updates? For the giveaway, it will be clearly announced. Like, you'll have plenty of lead up time to know when we are doing the giveaway. But if you are not subscribed to us, you will not know when that will be, which means you have no way of winning because you must be present to win. You have to be on the live stream, your name is going to get called, and you're going to have X amount of time to respond and say, hey, I'm the winner, yay, let me have it, when do I get it, right? If you don't respond within that period of time, we're going to revert backwards. Next, are you here? Give us a shout out, a holler. And if that guy's sitting there in the chat waiting and he hears his name coming up second to last, he's going to be waiting, begging, pleading that you do not answer. So you better be subscribed so you have no excuse not to be here. Sorry. I know that I would, if I had the power and I was the second to the last name and your name got called as the winner, I would be pulling the power at your house. My ass would be running, flying, whatever it took to get to your side of the country and pull the plug. So what is the value of this amp? Probably you're wondering, like, why is it such a big deal? I'm putting 200 hours of time into building this thing. Close to $2,000. I'm easily over $1,500 in expenditure on this thing right now. Probably closer to 2,000 if I don't tell the wife. But yeah. So a lot of time, a lot of money. So yeah, I don't want to just here, take it. Don't do anything with it. We want a video too. So at the end of the game, if you're the winner, we want you to send us a video that we can hopefully use. It's, again, not really a requirement. I can't really force you to do it, but I would hope that you would. So Dale, I know, is going to be playing and making some videos here pretty quick. So, so Andy, I know I'm only talking to 9 people. 11 currently. I got 16 likes though. So I'm not here to, I don't know. The 9 people that are here, the 11 people that are here, are the ones that matter. Notice all of you are blue right now too. So you want to go to a live? You're saying there, Andy? Come to daddy. Shut up. So you want me to come to your live? Send me an invite. Set up a live and send me an invite. I'll come over. Let's do that. I'm down. I've got half a can of beer that you can't see because I got the green screen action going. Ooh. And if that isn't enough, I got this guy. All right, cool. So we're not going to do this for too much longer, obviously, because we're going to go over to another channel and continue to talk about this stuff some more. But that is where the state of the union is at the moment. A lot of things have been done in this last week. I've got knobs. I've got the aluminum plate for the bottom done. I've got the cabinet shell done. A proper burp, so you know it's a real freaking show. Legacy. And then what else? Golly, girly. Sorry, the dog's out there barking. And just a lot of back end stuff kind of ready to go. So I have a backup plan in case I want to go a different direction. So currently what I got right now is Colby. That's how you know it's a real show, though. It's meant to be gross. This is a man's show. We drink beer and burp and, well, we don't do the other direction yet, but uh-oh, somebody got the freaking 86, huh? By the way, most of you probably know, if you're blue, a lot of you have managing mod. Not all of you, but most of you. I believe Colby is one that does, so just don't piss her off. And Colby, it's probably pretty good if you know who it was that needed to get the boot. Let Grant know so he knows what names to look for. I know, Chambers, I know. He wants to go outside and bark with his sister. But yeah, you're special. Just a little bit, just a little bit. So yeah, just make sure that you let Grant know. Go to his channel, drop a message or something. Let us know in some way. So that way he can know who needs to not be, you know what I mean? Like Mr. Asshole 86. I mean, whatever. If you're blue. Yeah, right? I'm just waiting for the invitation to come through. Oh, there it is. All right, so if you're here now, go over to Andy Lederman's channel, and he's about to go live in a minute. I'm going to go there myself, so I'm going to bid everybody adieu. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure and a joy, and I will see you again in the next one shortly. So thank you, guys. Take care.